Hello everyone, welcome back to Roll. Today we're going to try and generate as many shop refreshes as possible and then take stop production and see how much score we can generate by not having any more shop refreshes be created, but instead scoring for every shop reroll that would be made. So first thing I'm going to do is turn down my headphones because it's too loud. Alright, so we're going to build up a 97-ish first. Doesn't necessarily need to be that specific a prime number, it's only because we want something large. So if it's like 93, that'll be fine. I just want to get something going for our high scoring, and then I can't remember which tier of shop it is that we start to get shop refresh adders available to us as something that can be purchased in the shop. So we're just going to race through all this, work our way up to a decent scoring number, see how many rolls left we have. Hopefully it's kind of around 2050, something like that. I was going to say 2050, but that's really not way words how to do good. We start out with our multiple shop refreshes to begin with. Hopefully we will get that into maybe the hundreds. I have no idea if thousands is even reasonable. There will probably be some level of locks and keys and cloning in this, but I'm not going to go too wild with it, otherwise we could end up with a run that becomes hours long. So we'll work up to that when we get there, but first we'll get the scoring. We'll get the first couple of upgrades out of the way, and then after that we'll see how we're going. Right, we'll take a ×2 reroller. It's quite a lot of rolling. We'll stick it on the 1 so we make our average better, so that whenever we roll a 1, we hopefully roll something larger than 1 with it. Obviously it could roll another 1 for a 2. And then if we can get some more of those, we'll start building them up through the larger numbers. There's a single reroll. We'll put that somewhere as well. So close. I was trying to get really swift in my tabbing there. Right, so up to 73, excuse you, 75. I'd love to be able to get rerollers on every face, but I don't know that we're going to have enough of them show up by the time we want to move on. Right, 87, so we need 10 more on that die. 3 and 3 and 4 makes 10. So I think rather than trying to go for a second high scoring face value or searching for more stuff, we're just going to get started on our shop upgrades. Now we have to refresh to get the shop to realize that we have upgraded. Die adder is not really what we need. Let's just hop on straight to tier 3 of shop. And then from here we want to find a good multiplier for our high value die, a universal reroller for that die, and eventually a set all die faces for the 97. Now of course we could be buying other dice and things as we go, but I'm going to save it for more of what we need. There's 6 times universal reroller. And I think we can probably just hop straight up to the next tier of shop now. So this is where it will start to get more interesting. So we want to take the important passives, but we don't want to increase our scoring too much too quickly, because the cost of things in the shop is relative to whichever dice roll produced the most number of points. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just look for a set all die faces. There it is. So we'll grab that and set all of our 97s to be 97s. That's going to increase our scoring considerably at this time. Then we're looking for shop refresh adders, re-rollers. Let's grab a re-roll twice universally. Now, if we're looking to build a big cloning run, we're probably going to need to buy a reasonable number of dice just so that we have enough dice to start building a grid out with. But we will definitely pick up a BOGO. That's going to help us just kind of harvest a lot of the stuff that we want. And stuff like single face multipliers, we can just kind of throw in anywhere when they become cheap. Die booster adder is not the type of die face we want. I'm wondering how much shopping we should do here versus the next tier of shop, honestly. I'm not sure, because it's been a while since I played a lot of this, where the best stuff is going to be for what we want. However, there is a shop refresh adder, so that's definitely getting picked up right now. We'll stick that over here. We'll make that whole die re-roll twice. Now, we can't use the set all faces because that is only numeric faces, not special faces. I don't even think we want to pick up a clover because we're not going to be doing anything with lottery faces, I think. All quantities times 5 might be important later, but I'm going to avoid it for right now. I'm just wondering what other things are going to be most useful. We'll get a 10x multiplier for one of our 97s. A die with incrementers. We'll pick one of those up. We can always change the numbers when it gets to being towards 99 if we have any of the passives that we don't want relating to the number 99. Or any of the passives, rather, that don't want 99s to be present on them. And looking at what we're getting here from our rerolls, I don't think we're going to want to be on this tier of shop too long. We particularly want to see die adder adders. And actually, do we even want those? Because it's not about the number of dice we're making. It's about the number of copies of specific dice that we're making, isn't it? Let's get this re-rolling in triplicate. Don't need lucky 7s because we're not doing lottery stuff. We don't want locks yet. I'd really like more shop refresh adders, so we can start thinking about being ready to clone this die when the time is appropriate. Let's get 5 of these, just so that we can start to bulk out our grid for when we do want to have a checkerboard of locks and keys and stuff to be locked and stuff to unlock those locks, etc. There's more re-rollers in triplicate. We'll buy the more expensive one because then the cheaper one might become free as well. It did not, but that's fine. I'll take the re-roll in triplicate for something else anyway, just because if we get one with a key on it, we want that one with the key to be re-rolling in triplicate. But I think we're probably going to look at upgrading to the next tier of shop now, because we've spent about 200 rolls not really making any progress towards our goals. So that is the max tier of shop. We can put some glue on the shop refresh adder here. Now we're looking for keys. Adding a copy of a die is good, but not really what we need right now. There's another BOGO. We'll pick up a second one of those. When you roll a numeric value divisible by 2, re-roll it. Sure, we'll grab that. It will take it out of the pool. We'll get some extra re-rolls. It won't impact our scoring too dramatically. I don't even think I want more adders. I just want shop refreshes. That's the goal here. Shop refreshes, a key is going to be really important to find. And eventually, we'll take scavenger because that's more shop refreshes. Eventually, we're going to want a universal re-roller for sure. There's a 300 lock, but until we can get a key going, I'm not too interested, or at least a universal re-roller. Add a copy of something. A random number generator just isn't my friend today. Lots of stuff that we would want for a lottery run or something, but that's not what we're doing right now. I don't know if we're going to get to 1,000 dice or anything similar, but if we are, I'll worry about buying things like this down the line when we're far closer to such values. There's no weights reroll in triplicate. So we're going to grab that immediately, even if it's going to be a lot to get there. So let's see if there's anything we can do to increase our scoring in the very short term. With what we've got available here, it doesn't really look like it, unfortunately. We'll set all of these to 8s. Is like really not great. A weight doesn't help me. A lottery is unlikely to help me. Something else re-rolling in triplicate is going to be of minimum assistance. 10 times single face multiplier we can throw on just about anywhere. Right, so 500,000 points from 1,500 rolls. It's not going to be as bad as I feared. I feel like I'm rolling really slowly at the moment. Performance maximum, transition fastest. Yeah, everything's fine. Just feels slower than before. So it's looking at what, like 180 rolls or something? Now everything is re-rolling in triplicate. I'll take 10 dice. I won't take a modified die because it's got weights attached to it and I don't want weights. I'll grab this thing just because I can. There's Passive Hunter for another 700,000. We certainly want that as well, even though that's going to be a whole lot more rolls as well. Should be a fair few less given that everything is now re-rolling in triplicate, but I feel like we're not getting the components that we want to make this run pop off, which is a great shame. Right, we have 27 rerolls. We must be able to find some of what we want with this. There is a shop refresh adder. That's a good start. Now, as much as one of those faces is glued, that is the face that we're going to want to clone. That whole dice is going to be the die we want to clone. So we'll grab some other bits and pieces around it first. Although with 900 rolls left, I don't think we're going to see a key anytime soon. Because the key is really the next thing that we need if we were going to make a lot of these things clone themselves over and over and over again. I'll take a run multiplier just because we're going to have like 1s through 6s multiplying a lot. But yeah, it's just so expensive compared to how many points we have left. It's just not going to work out, is it? There's the die breeder adder face. We would have liked one of those really early to go on the die we want to clone. But we just haven't seen a key. Alright, finally found one. Let's take no weights 200% bonus. That will help us get to the key. Right. With 500 rolls left, no idea if we're going to be able to make this work. We made this reroll in triplicate so it can go next to that one. Then give me 5 more dice because we can. Then let's move one of these shop refresh adders onto this die. So we have multiple places we can lock. Then we don't really want any of this. So now we want to find locks. Add a copy would be fine if 7 million weren't so many points that we'd have to get to right now. More of the lottery stuff we don't want. There's a shop refresh adder face. And a lock. Right, let's move the die of die breeders. Is that the one I'm thinking of? No, that's not what I want. It was die breeder adders like this. We want more of those on here now. That's re-rolling in triplicate. Then we want to add a copy for 10 million of our die with a key on it. Then we want to move that. I should have definitely done this sooner. Right, I want to move the die with the key on it. There's stop production. Now, that's what the whole point of this strategy was, and this late, I feel like we're just going to have to try and see what happens, even though this is not really how I wanted this to shake out. So I want a move whole die thing. But let's grab this. Let's grab this. Let's just grab everything now at this point, I think. There's move a whole die. So we cloned a key. There it is. We move that key to here. Then we want more locks. This is a 10x that can go on there. We can swap a face over. Let's pull this to here next to the other key. 82 million to make another copy of something. Of that, we can make another copy of the key. Then we can move the key die that we just made up to here. By the other passives. We don't want fewer than 6 dice increase, I don't think. Oh wait, we have more than 6 die. That's the different type of thing that I'm thinking of. Now the problem is we're not making more shop refreshes because we bought stop production. So all of the re-rolling we're doing now is counterproductive to our goals of making lots of score with stop productions. So, you know, it's a bit of a broken system now. We want more locks, but we're not finding them. Add die quantity? Sure. I should probably just buy just about every passive, shouldn't I? Because if I can buy 2 passives out of every reroll I make, then I'm going to increase my number of rerolls. Get another copy of this guy. Then we want to move that. But yeah, this has not really panned out how I'd hoped it would. I don't know if I just kind of rushed through it all, or if the random number generation didn't give me the things that I was going to need. But the generation of more shop refreshes early did not pan out. But that's okay, you know, these things happen. Right, where was that copy of this? Can go there. I also feel like I've seen no locks. I've probably scrolled past dozens of them. I don't think I want to get all my numbers up to 99s. I've definitely just gone past a bunch of nines, because a bunch of locks, because I was not even looking at the top row, I was just looking at the passives. And I've got no idea at this point what I'm expecting this score to look like by the time we make the decision to just start rolling out. It's tough when you don't know exactly what plan you're walking in with. Non-numeric faces have no value. We definitely don't want that. There's die quantities times 5. $99.99s is not what we want. Fewer than 6 dice bonus. Obviously we have more than 6 dice. There's another BOGO. Classic. Just buying up every passive now. Not seeing numbers in the exponents yet. Even more BOGOs. I don't think we have weights anywhere. I know we have 99s in various places. I'm looking for, really, I mean, that's going to be a good one. Numbers less than 13, 1,000%. But the ones where you get a huge bonus for having a large number of dice. Not that we have that many dice, I suppose. Like, barely 100, probably. But in part, this has reminded me that trying to do big, long lock cloning runs does get rather tedious. Because it's currently the way to get the absolute highest scores, as I understand it. But it's also beyond my attention span, basically. Now, where are the bonuses that give us huge numbers of dice for large increases in score? They don't seem to exist on this tier of shop. And we're spending through all of our shop refreshes, and if we go back and look at what's the thing I'm trying to think of, the whole reason we're trying to do this in the first place, stop production. What does stop production look like? I've honestly no clue. That's mail-in rebate. There's stop production. All die refresh adders will no longer add dice or shop refreshes. When they would normally add a die, they will instead be worth the quantity of die times the number of rolls to produce times 100, or the quantity of shop refreshes squared times 100. So we were hoping to get to this to like 1,000 squared times 100, but I guess that even only, I have no idea how many zeros that actually works out to, but I imagine it's not as many as you kind of want it to be in a project like this. So if we roll out now, we don't even hit exponent numbers. Oh, we do. very just we hit E16. I think I took something viral at some point there as well, but honestly, that whole run is just kind of a flash in the pan of my brain. But, you know, we learned something, I think. In any case, thank you guys ever so much for watching. If you're enjoying the series, please do consider subscribing or hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.